What up, everyone? Sweet Pete here for another MMA minute. Let's talk about everything that's going down in the MMA world, mixed martial arts world in 2021. So we're going to talk about all the different promotions that kind of rose to fame this year. We have one championships over in Asia that got very popular with the Demetrius Johnson losing his first fight in the promotion. He has came back and won a couple. We have Triad, which is in the triangle-shaped ring. We have the PFL, which does a season style of mixed martial arts, where you have the off-season, the on-season, which is not the traditional way the UFC run things or other mixed martial arts promotions like Bellator. But the newest one I want to talk about is Eagle FC. This is Khabib Nurmagomedov's, I've always had problems saying his name, but Khabib's new fight promotion. The interesting thing about Eagle FC is Khabib is doing weight classes that other MMA fight promotions do not have. He's doing 135, 145, 155. The big one, 165. That is where Kevin Lee and Diego Sanchez will meet, both former UFC fighters. Kevin Lee and Diego Sanchez, which is a fight I'm not too keen on. Diego Sanchez is going to turn 40 soon. Kevin Lee is 29. He's turning 30 soon, so there's an age discrepancy there. Kevin Lee's a little bigger, quite a bit bigger, and definitely more athletic than Diego Sanchez. I see it being a bad fight for Diego. Nonetheless, Diego Sanchez is tough, and he absolutely has a chance. If he can get Kevin Lee down, hold him down, who knows? But Eagle FC, let's see how it does in 2022. So that's the Sweet Pete MMA Minute, just talking about the new MMA promotions that are getting big. And let's list them one more time. We got Eagle FC, we got Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, we've got one championship, we've got the PFL, we've got LFA, and then Eagle FC. So let's see which fight promotion, I forgot to mention Bellator, which fight promotion out of all those aside from the UFC really goes above and beyond in 2022. My guess and my belief is the only ones that are going to really be successful is UFC staying up here. Bellator, I think, is slowly catching up, and then you've got all the rest. Some bigger than others. It would be the UFC, Bellator, one, and then the rest. So we'll see what happens in 2022 with the MMA fight promotions. I'm wishing them all luck. More fight promotions, more fighters, more of this. That's great for the sport. It'll allow the sport to grow even more. I think it's the world's fastest growing sport. So jump on the bandwagon now, guys, because this is going to take over. More and more money's coming in. We got Logan Paul and Jake Paul fighting ex-MMA fighters. Boxers. Logan Paul lost the decision to Floyd Mayweather, but it was a kind of a charity style bout. So technically, as long as Logan didn't get knocked out, it was a win for him. So some people call that a win for him. His brother went as far to say that he believes Logan won 5 rounds to 3, which is absurd. It was pretty clear that the much smaller man, 5'8" on a good day, probably about 5'7", 140 pounds, versus Logan Paul, who's 6'2", so you're giving up 6-7 inches of height, and he's about 205 and about 60 pounds of weight. There was a huge significance and size difference, significant size difference, obviously, and that fight went the distance. It's pretty clear that even if the much smaller and much older fighter turned it on, he would have knocked out Logan Paul. But Floyd Mayweather was in there to put on a show for the fans and go the distance. I believe that to be the true, clear story of that fight. If they fought again, we know how good Mayweather is. It doesn't matter if he's a smaller dude, 5'8" to 6'2". Okay, whatever, 6 inches, this much height. You're this much bigger. They're still both big people. A little bit of height and a little bit of arm reach isn't going to change the amount of technical ability and just speed Floyd Mayweather has. It's not going to give Logan a chance. But come 2022, looking forward to seeing what happens with Jake Paul to see if he actually fights Tommy Fury. There's Anderson Silva, who just put on a hell of a fight against an ex-professional boxer, ex-champion. He kicked his butt. So that's the fight I would like to see, is Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. But there's tons of names in the mix here. Let's see what happens. 2022 Eagle FC coming up to Rise with the 165-pound weight division. Anyways, that's the Sweet Pete long 5-minute video. I'll keep the content coming out. Please like and subscribe. Any questions, please leave in the comments, because I'd love to address some questions. And I do have MMA experience. I've been training for years, so if you have any questions on that front, or any questions on who you think's going to win, I do put out my bets every week for the fights. If you look at my Instagram, Sweet Pete MMA on all channels, you can see who I bet on all of 2021. Every week I put out my fight bets, so you can see that. Go take a look. I'm in the positive. I did pretty well. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for the support. Like and subscribe. See you next year.